Hi and welcome to my Windows 10 calculator developed using Visual Basic.net. So let me show you guys how it works. Supposing I end up saying 5 multiplied by 8, there you can see the memory. Because let's say I clear my memory, you end up with this. There's no history yet, and let's say we start and see that, and supposing we end up and say let's clear that 5 plus 2 multiplied by 9. You see what's happening there. It works very similar to the new Windows 10 calculator, so I feel I should actually share the experience with you guys. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go onto the system and develop a new one together. You can see how it all works, but the only bit that I've taken care of is just the standard part of it. As you can see, just the standard calculator. However, I will continue work on this project because, as you can see, it's a very huge project. It's going to be huge, but only on the condition that if I get 30,000 views on this very calculator will I continue work with the rest. Okay, so 30,000 views, that would be a deal, and maybe over 1,000 likes, then I can continue with the rest of this tutorial. That will be encouraging. Apart from that, I don't see any reason to continue because it's a huge project. I take off my hat to Microsoft. Alright, so let's clear that and just play around with this again. Let's go back to our standard calculator there, 3. Let's clear that. Let's check out the rest functions. Let's see that is correct. Okay, clear that. Let's say we go for, okay, that's correct mathematically, and that is correct as well. If you divide that by 100, that's what you get. Alright, so let's see something else. Okay, we multiply that by 9 and you get all of that in the memory right there. So 5 minus 2. Okay, let's say we clear that and we say 9 minus this multiplied by 9, that will give you minus 81. Okay, so I will now take you guys straight into Visual Basic Development environment, and we'll put one of these together. So let's do that now. Okay, let's start a new project. Let's click on create new project. Okay, let's give it a name, but make sure you select Visual Basic and Windows Forms application. So let's give that project a name. We'll call it VB Window Calculator. Alright, save that. Alright, now that our form is ready, let's define the size of this form first. I'm going to change that to, let's go for approximately 700. Okay, let's say 789 by 690. Then here, let's give that a name. We just call it calculator. Okay, now let's come to minimum size. The minimum size is going to be 420 by 630. Right, that's my minimum size, and maximum is going to be approximately the same. I'll just copy that and paste it right in here. Now let's change the background. I'm going to change the background to button face. That is my background color. Now the next thing I like to do is come straight to the tools here and now select, let's go for I'm gonna need those buttons anyway, so grab one of those and change the font of this very button. I'm gonna make that approximately 20. Make that 20 bold, right? And in this very button, I'm gonna need a couple of those anyway. So let's change the size of these to 90 by 68. No, I'm gonna need 20 of those really. Just copy and there we go, right there. So I have all my buttons in place. Okay, the next thing is, let's get labels. I'm gonna need 2 here, 2, yeah, and there's supposed to be 1 here, and I'm gonna need 2 labels here as well. One here and 1 for mine. Yeah, I think I'm right though. Okay, let's increase the size of all of these labels. Let's go for 16 for now. Right, apart from this, I want that to be maybe around 10. And the color for this very one will be the font color. Let's change that to something light. I don't want it to be black, right? Because I'm going to be using that in conjunction with the text box that I'm going to add here. So there's one text box here, and this very text box, let's change it to maximum line, multi-line, and the font on this text box, let's make that 20 bold. I think it might be even more than 20. Let's make it 36. Right, move this up a little bit. Alright then. Okay, this very one, we're gonna have to change this to standard. And this one is going to be history. So the whole idea is to simulate the Windows 10's calculator. This is going to be known as memory, and here I've changed this to, right, I'm going to change this to the percentage. This I'm going to have to go to Word to get that, and the others, this will be, let's change this to CE as C. I need Word for that. This one will be 7, 8, 9, 4, 5 and 6. And we have 1, 2, 3. We have plus sign here, minus sign, and I'm going to use that as my multiplication, and this will be my division. Then right underneath here, this is meant to be plus minus, so let's continue first, and this one will be the full stop while we have equals there. So the rest I'm going to have to copy some stuff from Microsoft Word. Okay, the rest stuff I'm going to get those ones from Word. So let's come into insert and let's go into symbol right here. Alright, I'm going to need this, so let's come right here, double click on that and set that. Let's reduce the size so that you guys can see what I'm up to. Yeah, I only need one of those though. Right, I'm going to need a dustbin as well. This very bin, insert, and need plus minus. I need this, and we need plus minus. This very one. Here is there already. Now I need this one, this square. Okay, So with those ones that I just have now so far, let's copy and paste. So come right in here, text. I think that's the plus minus. That's good. That's there. So the bean. I don't know where the bean come from, but let's come in here, paste this one here. I know where that comes from. That comes from Winging. The font size, you must make sure you remember the font size. The font type, I think is Winging. Yeah, that's correct. Then this one, where is that from? I can't remember. Let's copy. Let's try it out anyway. Paste. Okay, that's fine. And we need, yeah, the other two. I've actually made up something. Let's come right into my images here. Right here, get them all out as image. Insert. We'll have that in here. The first one is going to be this. Alright, let's select this. I think it's this. Click on OK. Yeah, right. The next one, I'm going to select. Let's go back to image. Come right here. You can always draw it out, or you can go to the mathematics function to get that out. I think this, I'll set it for this. Right. Yeah. But when I run it, there's something I think maybe I should use the same thing for these ones. Okay, this is how it looks now. I think these two, I'm going to change them to images as well. These very two. So let's close that. I have made up some images anyway. Let's get rid of that and images right here. So you guys should, I suppose, to get this image, especially these ones, you can always get them inside the mathematics function here. You see it? I need a blank one really. Right. Okay, inside there, this is what I want, and this one can be, let's say, x to 2. Alright, so you just copy that, increase the font size, copy it, and convert it to images. That's what I did, and you can do that for the rest. Okay, let's get rid of this and continue. Now let's come into image and change that to the percentage, to the image percentage. Right, so that is the design of the buttons. Okay, the next thing I want to do now is let's add a rich text box. Rich text box here. Okay, one rich text box here. Then I need a button. Yeah, I need a button. I need a small button here. Let's put a small little button here. You see this very button? I'm going to copy that bean. Yeah, this is the bean. I think, hopefully I know where this bean comes from. Paste the bean in there, and if I am wrong, I think we might be able to get this somewhere. Let's come into here. I can remember, I think it starts with a V, something like that. Yeah, maybe that. Let's see. No. Okay, let's just go back and look at the name. I can't remember what it's called. That is it there. Where is it from? Okay, it's from Winging 2. Okay, that's it. That's fine. Alright then. Close that. Come back in here. That should have been easy. Winging 2. There we go. Now I'm going to increase the font size to something you guys can see properly. Right, and let's change size, the appearance of this button. Okay, right here we should be able to change the appearance of the button. Drop that down. No, let's do that in here, make it flat. and now I don't want this. Change this border style. I'm going to change that to 0. Change the border style, this one, to 0. Okay, instead of 1, make it 1, means there's a border around it. Okay, now you change this appearance and just change that the border style to 0, and I get rid of the border. For the rest of the buttons, we will have to change the appearance as well. So let's come into appearance, border style, make that 0, but we then have to convert it to flat. If the border style is 0, then that will be flat. Okay, but to make it pronounced, we need to then change the button color. Let me select all of those buttons and come right here to color. Here, let's change it to something a little bit darker. Maybe for now we can just change it to that. That is a bit too dark. Okay, come right here, let's change, I think maybe here, okay, this, right, and that means I'm gonna have to add some space, just 1 each. Alright, right, that's how it looks now. Then this rich text box, let's change the appearance of the rich text box as well. Let's come in here somewhere. You might be able to get something to do with it. Okay, border style, let's change that to none. And the color, let's change the color. Let's change it to button face, something like that. Button face, right? Okay, make sure it's selected and let's give it a name. RT display, something like that. That's fine. Okay. And this one has a name as well. Now it has no name. TXT display. Alright, I'm just gonna speed up the whole naming process and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so what is left for me to do now is to take care of this very one. I will go back to Word document as well to copy. That's it. There's called, I think it's called Vedana or something like that, and there it is right here. Yeah. That is it. So I'm going to copy it and come right here. This is a label. You can use a button, really. You can use a button if you want. I'm going to leave it just as label, or maybe we'll get rid of that. I'm going to use a button. Okay, I'll leave it. Okay, come in here and just paste that. And let's come right up here. Okay, it's even all right in all right, Microsoft. All right, that's fine then. I'll leave it as that, and let's just increase the font size to maybe 26, bold, maybe too much, maybe 24. Okay, I think 24 looks a bit all right. And this one, let's change the appearance of that as well, because the new Windows, Windows 10, the appearance looks very, very different. So that's button face, and let's change the border style. The border style is going to be Is it none? Yeah. So right here I have my txt display, and also I have my RTB display history. And here, okay, I have all my components ready, so let's start coding, guys. The first thing I like to do now is I'm going to select all of these buttons using one. I'll use one event for all of these. So let's come right here. I think we should go to events, and maybe we use click events. I'm going to call that numbers. Let's say numbers only, or numbers click, numbers underscore click. Right there. Okay, first of all I'm going to declare the following variable. So let's say dim. I'll call that assign input, assign underscore input as double, and let's give the value equals 0. The next one is going to be dim operation as string, followed by dim found expression as boolean. Then let's add 2 more variables here. Let's say dim first number. Let's go for second number as well, and q as string as well. Alright, there. Now in here I already have my number click event. You guys remember the buttons that are grouped together, so we go into their properties. Where's the property? Okay, let's go back to window and reset this thing. Reset, yes. Okay, here comes my property. Right in there, double click on their event click. Okay, I'm going to create an object here, so I'll call the object B as button. There. Then let me use sender to send information to those buttons, and then use an if statement. If txt display dot text equals 0, or found expression, this should be all, then come on, then txt display dot clear. Okay, so if any of those expression is found, I just want it to clear it, as simple as that. However, once it's cleared, txt display, I like it to inherit whatever we have inside B, which is the buttons itself. So unfound expression, the condition of found expression then will be false. Okay, because I also have the dots, so I'm going to include that here. Might as well just include that. Else if b dot text equals dot, then what I want this system to then do is check how many we have there. If not, txt dot text dot contains a dot, then it should add this content into it. Okay, equals txt dot plus whatever we have. In this case, that happens to be the the decimal place. Okay, let's text missing there. Right. Else txt dot text equals txt dot text right there. Okay, let's correct this error first before we can run it. And the other thing is here, right here, the boolean should be equals false right there. Okay, and let's see. Okay, these are the buttons that I selected, 1 to 9, 0, and the dot. And I also need right in here, let's enter the 0 there. Right, align right. Okay, let's give our system a run and see. Alright, so let's try out the numbers. And what about decimal place? 0. Let's try another decimal. No, that's fine, it's working the way I want. That's brilliant. Okay, so all of the numbers and the decimal is working, so let's take care of the clear. Double click on CE. So for the CE, I can just copy these, copy that, and paste it right there. Then I will also have to clear my LBL equation dot text equals that. The component called LBL equation, that is it right here, is this label. Okay, take note of that. That's just the name I call it. I don't know what to call it. I just call it equation because all of the numbers will be displayed in there. Alright, so the other one is, let's clear this other one. Where is it? This one. Double click on clear. There. Alright, the other thing I need to take care of, let's take care of all of these operators, 1 to 4. I'm going to come straight to events. On the click event, I'll give them a name. Let's call it operation underscore click. Right there. Press enter. As usual, I'm going to declare, I'm going to create an object, so I can just copy this, my very object here, and dump it right in there into operation click. And let's say if assign input, if assign input is not equals to not equals to 0, then get rid of one of them. Then btn equals the btn equals, that is my equals button. I would like it to perform whatever operation that I have in there, and the operation is operation click anyway, so that is if it's now 0. Okay, what about found expression? In that case, that will be true. And operation, which is just my variable, operation equals b dot text, not operation click, operation. I think I have something called operation. Yeah. So what's the problem? Wrong spelling. Right. Okay, then let's assign something into LBL equation dot text equals assigned input assigned input and let's enter speech mark, 4 space in between, because I'm going to need that for something else. The 454 for now. If it's not big enough, then I assign another one. I'm going to need that for my history. So operation, yeah, okay, else operation equals b.text. Okay, what about assigned? Let's say assigned inputs. In that case, assigned input is going to become, okay, just taking whatever value we have in there. Let's say double dot pass. You can just paste it in there. .txt display .text. Right. Then found, expression found in this case will be equals true. If expression found in this case equals true, then operation, no, sorry, LBL equation should be assigned whatever value we have in there. So all that I'm just doing in here is depends on the operator that is selected, okay, in as much as the value in there is not 0, then the equals should perform whatever operation. Then in that case, found will become true. Then the operator is assigned to operator if it's plus or minus or whatever. Okay. Then whatever we have in here is in here. Then there's a space, there's an operator there. Okay, let me demonstrate what I've just done. So if I say 9 or whatever number, maybe 8, multiply, that is it. You see that? That's what I've just done in here. That is what this is all about. Multiply by 9 equals, okay, so all that is left for us to do now is to take care of the equals sign. So let's double click on this equals, scroll right down. I think we need to change this from, let's change this from position to center window. Okay, that's fine. Now double click on the equals. Okay, this first thing I'm going to do in there is, let's say, select case. Select case, and that case is going to be the operator or operations. Right. Get rid of this. Why is that there? So it's going to be operation. The first case will be the plus sign. If it's the plus sign, then I want txt display.text to be equals to whatever I have in here. Assign input. Assign input is the first value. The first value is inside assign input. Okay. Plus, I want to add all of this, whatever we have in here, paste it in there. Okay, but the thing is, because it's string, I like to convert it to, because it's numbers, I like to convert it into strings, which is what I've just done in there. So that is the first case. So I'm just going to copy it. So that's to add the very first two numbers, the second one, the third, and the fourth. So this will be minus or subtraction, and change this to subtraction. Having changed this to multiplication, right here, and this will be division, and changes to division as well, and that takes care of equals. But there's something else. Now let's ask the assign input itself. Assign input equals double dot pass. This one, copy and paste it right there. Then let's clear the operator. Operator equals clear. Okay, the reason why I'm doing that is so that we can use multiple operations like 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5. That's the reason why I'm doing all of this. Okay, but for it to work the way I want, I'm going to have to clear this very one. I'm going to have to clear it. Okay, so let's copy this, and I'm going to paste it right up here and just say clear there. Okay, so let's try it out now. Okay, if we say 8 multiplied by 8 equals 64. All right, multiply, oh clear it, let's start again. 8 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 2. That is correct. It's working exactly the way I want. That's it, guys. So that is fine. So let's say 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 4 equals that. That's good. So that's how I want it. So officially the calculator is all ready now, apart from all of these that needs taken care of, and this one. Alright, so all of these are done. So I only need to do 1 2 3 4 5 6. So let's speed that up, guys. So the first one, let's double click on. Okay, let's start with this, double click on that. Okay, so in there, the first thing is I'm going to declare a variable. Let's say dim a as double, and a in this case equals, let's convert to double. Okay, and what we are converting is the content inside txt display.text. Right, so let's divide that. Let's say we convert, let's say 100. So convert 100, and whatever we have inside a now, we will now want to assign it into txt display.text equals system.convert to string, and the content we're converting is whatever is inside a. So all I've just done in here is, if you have, let's say you have 9 and you just divide it by 100, that's all I've done. Okay, so if you divide 9 by 100, or that will give you 0.009, something like that. Okay, so that's all I've just done in there. So if I run it now, let's see. Right there, say 9 divided by 100, that's it. Okay, clear. 2 divided by 100 there. Okay, that's taken care of. That's easy. Now the next one, double click on this, and all we just need to do in there is declare exactly the same variable, just convert it to, that's it, converting that to square. Okay, this is where the conversion took place. Alright, this is just to output the data on the list box above. Alright, now the next one is this one. Double click on that and right there. Okay, so all we're just doing there is we're multiplying this by this. Whatever you enter in there, if it's 6 multiplied by 6, 36. That's all that is happening here. Now finally double click on that and just enter as follows. Okay, I think we need to take care of, okay, have a good look at that. We need to take care of the backspace, this very one. Double click on the backspace right here, guys. Those are the lines of code for the backspace. It has no name. Maybe I should give it a name. Come in here and just call it backspace. btn back space. Right. So let's go back in there. That is the name there, backspace. I'll just copy it and paste it in here. There. Right. Those are the lines of code for the backspace. And what will happen is from here to here we actually delete numbers. Okay, but when the system becomes empty, 0 is automatically assigned. That is why I enter this if statement. So if I run it, and let's try them all out. 7, this should give us that. Clear. Let's come to 8. That should give us that. Okay, you see the clear does not work with this, so I need to take care of that as well. It works with that, but it doesn't work with this. Okay, let's say we have 8 here and that. Okay, that's fine. Backspace, 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 backspace. See, the 0 is back there. Okay, let's take care of this one so that it can clear the content in there as well. Double click on that, and that is supposed to be lbl dot text equals clear. There. So that is the end of the standard calculator. So what is now left is to add the history of the standard calculator. So I'm going to be a bit fast with that. So the first thing we want to do is come right in here inside equals, double click on equals, and right up here I'm going to enter as follows, because most of the content is going to be inside the equals. So let's say txt display.text, add that in the second line, second number right underneath here. Let me just break that so that you guys can see. That is where I'm going to enter those lines of codes. Before I start, let me make btn clear history dot visible, make that true, equals true there. And if it's true, this is what I'm referring to here, this very one. Look at the name. I want it to be true, but it's not false yet. Let's go inside form load. On form load, I like it to be false. Dot visible equals false. Right. Okay, now we can continue. Where is that lines of code? Right up here somewhere. Right. Okay, the code that I'm writing now is inside the equals sign. So it's going to be, let's say rtb.display. Okay, I would like it to append the following, whatever I have inside lbl equation dot text, and let's enter speech mark there. 1 2 3 4. It has to be 4, and another one here. You can always use tab, VB tab, but I just use that. Display dot text and VB new line. Let it go to VB new line. Alright, so what I've just done is add whatever we have in here, and what we have in here, add it to this very display. But it's not finished yet. It's not finished yet. We also need to add the second number that is entered. So let me copy all of this. Copy that, paste that in here, and let's go for Q. Q be the very first item, and the second item, second number. Then in here I want to enter and that. Now what about this? Okay, I can always put that inside the operator. Okay, let's come back down. Then, and I also want it to append, sorry, to clear. Undo that. I want it to clear. No, it's not gonna work. This might work, okay, for the first input. So for the second one, let it be the total. That's the total there. Okay, let's say LBL history. Then let's clear it. LBL history dot text equals clear. Okay, you see Q is supposed to be the content inside this label. That's what Q is meant to be. Let me delete that label first. Okay, the content inside this label here, that is Q. So let's come in here. I'm going to copy all of this. I'll go inside the operators right at the bottom here. I'm going to say Q equals whatever we have in there dot text, right? So I think that should do it. So in here I have my Richtextbox, right, and right below I have the bin there. So if I run it, this bin is supposed to disappear until we click on this, then that will activate the bins. Okay, let's run it and see. Okay, let's say 5 multiply by 6 equals, yeah, you see that? You see that, guys? That's fine. So let's say we want to add something else. 12 multiply by 12 equals that. That's fine. Multiply by 2 there. Okay, that's how the history works. If I clear, that should clear this, and the history should reappear. So we need to double click on this, and let's say RT history dot clear. Right. Okay, let's then use if statement. If LBL history dot text equals that, then we want LBL history dot text equals there is no history yet. Alright, there's no history yet. Okay, Now let's come down here and just say btn clear history itself dot visible, make that equals false, and rtb dot scroll bar. Where's the scroll bar? Try that again. Dot scroll bar, make that equals 0. Right, that should take care of that. Okay, have a look at that. So if I run it, I want you to have a good look at the bean. The bean will disappear until something happens. Look at that, the bean is gone. So if I say 7 multiply by 5, multiply by 5 again, multiply by 2, and so on, you can see the bean appears again, right? And there is no history yet, disappears. But if I clear it now, there we go. Okay, so that is how the Windows 10 calculators function. So all that is taken care of. But just to prove a point that yes, the rest can be done, I'm going to create all of the other menu of Windows 10 and you guys will see that, but only the standard calculator will be taken care of for this very first tutorial, for this very first part. However, if the views is up to 30,000 and there's 1,000 like on this very tutorial, then I will continue with the rest tutorial. I will complete the rest of the Windows calculator tutorial. So I'm going to end that. To get this working, we need to go to tools and we need what is known as Treeview. So I'm going to select Treeview. Just place Treeview anywhere you want, right there. So that's my Treeview there. So right inside the Treeview we have calculator. Well, let's come to the node here. Okay, the first node is going, let's add a node. The first one is going to be calculator. So it's like the title. Okay, that's the first node. Alright, let's go back in there. And the second node, let's add a space and delete this one. The second one is standard there. Oh, okay, let's change the back color of this to button face. Okay, right, so we have the first node, the second one, now let's go back here, and the next one is scientific. Maybe I should just speed it up. Right, this is how it all looks for now. So what will happen is the location that I want it to be is right here. Okay, or it can always be there anyway, that's no problem. So when the system starts, I want this to disappear. So let's get the name. Alright, now when I click on this, I want this to appear. So double click on this first. Form load. Right inside the form load, Treeview.visible equals false. Paste that in there. However, there's only one component that we can click on to make it visible, and that is this dot. Click on that. Dot visible equals true. So if I run the system now, you see that only when I click on this it becomes visible, and when I click on any of these buttons I want them to be shown right here. Okay, because those are the other various form of calculator that can be developed, or that was developed inside the Windows 10. Alright, so let me just take care of these ones. I'm going to have to speed that up though. So now let's double click on this and just enter as follows. Just if statement. That's it. So if node 3 is clicked, show standard on the title display. If it's node 5, show programmer. If it's node 7, and so on. Look at it. Have a good look at it. So let's move it down. And that's all there is to it. So if I run it now and click on that, let's select scientific. You see that? So that means we can now work on scientific calculator. But we've not done anything to do with scientific calculator yet, only standard. Power. So like I said, if I can get 30,000 views and 1,000 likes, then I will take it upon myself and complete the rest. So I suppose you guys enjoyed this tutorial. You all have a nice day now, and shall I say bye for now? Have a nice day. Bye.